The annual Henderson family dinner was in full swing, crystal glasses clinking against expensive china as my relatives competed to showcase their achievements. I sat quietly at the far end of the table, watching my sister Audrey command everyone's attention, just like she always had. "Another record quarter," she announced, adjusting her designer watch. "The partners are already talking about making me the youngest senior VP in the firm's history." My mother beamed with pride. "That's my girl. Harvard Business School really does open all the right doors." I suppressed a smile thinking about the email I'd received that morning. The one confirming that my company, Nova Technologies, had just been valued at $4.2 billion. The one explaining that Forbes wanted to feature me in next month's issue. "And what about you, Alexandra?" Aunt Patricia's voice dripped with fake concern. "Still doing that, what do you call it? That internet thing." "Software development," I corrected quietly, though I knew it wouldn't matter. To them, I was just the family disappointment, the one who'd turned down a real career to chase some tech dream. "Right," Audrey smirked. "Because that's totally the same as managing billion-dollar portfolios." If only she knew that my latest algorithm had revolutionized artificial intelligence trading. That her firm's recent successes were partly due to software my company had developed. But I kept quiet, maintaining the facade they'd grown so comfortable with. "Alexandra," my father sighed, swirling his expensive bourbon, "when are you going to get serious about your future? You're 28. It's time to stop playing with computers and join the real business world." I thought about the acquisition offers sitting in my inbox: Google, Microsoft, Apple. Each one worth more money than my entire family's combined net worth. But they didn't know that. They'd never bothered to ask. "I'm doing fine, Dad." "Fine." Audrey laughed. "You live in a rented apartment and drive a used car. Meanwhile, I just bought a penthouse in Manhattan." With Mom and Dad's help, I couldn't help adding. The table went silent. Audrey's face flushed red. "At least I'm successful enough to deserve their help," she snapped. "What have you accomplished?" "A tiny startup that nobody's ever heard of." My mother jumped in, trying to smooth things over. "Girls, please. Alexandra, honey, there's no shame in admitting you need a new direction. Your sister could probably get you an entry-level position at her firm." "That's right," Audrey said, her voice dripping with false generosity. "I'm sure we could find something suitable. Filing maybe? Data entry? You're good with computers after all." More laughter around the table. Even my father chuckled. "I'm happy where I am," I said softly. "Happy being a nobody?" Audrey shot back. "Face it, Alexandra. You'll always be a nobody. Some of us are built for success and some of us just need to accept our limitations." My phone buzzed in my pocket. Probably another message from Forbes, finalizing details for tomorrow's announcement. They'd chosen me as their cover story. 30 under 30. Meet the youngest self-made billionaire in tech. "I should go," I said, standing up. "Early meeting tomorrow." "Meeting?" Aunt Patricia scoffed. "In that shabby little office you rent?" What they saw as a shabby office was actually just a front. Nova Technologies' real headquarters occupied 3 floors in the city's most prestigious building. But they'd never bothered to visit either location. "You can't leave yet," my mother protested. "Audrey hasn't even told everyone about her new summer house in the Hamptons." "Bought with my latest bonus," Audrey preened. "Though I suppose that kind of success is hard to understand when you're still trying to make it in the startup world." I paused at the door. "You know what the funny thing is? All these years, you've never once asked what my company actually does. Why bother?" Audrey waved her hand dismissively. "It's not like you're changing the world or anything." If she only knew that Nova's AI technology was already transforming industries, that our innovations were reshaping the future of computing. That tomorrow her world would turn upside down. "Maybe you're right," I said, picking up my bag, a custom piece that cost more than her summer house. "Maybe some of us are just built different." "Finally admitting I'm better?" Audrey smirked. "No," I smiled, thinking about tomorrow's headlines. "Just admitting we measure success differently." "What's that supposed to mean?" "Oh, and Audrey." I paused at the doorway. "You might want to check tomorrow's Forbes magazine. I hear it's going to be illuminating." "Why?" she demanded. "Did they do another feature on successful women in finance?" Something like that. I walked out, leaving them to their self-congratulatory dinner. My phone buzzed again as I reached my car. My real car, not the modest one I drove to family functions. The Forbes editor wanted to confirm the photoshoot location. They were thinking the Nova Technologies lobby with its 3-story waterfall and wall of patents. I typed back a quick response, then started the engine. Through the window, I could see my family still gathered around the dinner table, basking in their perceived success, completely unaware that their world was about to change. Tomorrow they'd learn what real success looked like. Tomorrow they'd discover that the sister they'd dismissed had built an empire while they weren't watching. Tomorrow, they'd understand exactly what they'd missed while they were busy measuring life in summer houses and designer watches. But tonight I'd let them enjoy their last few hours of thinking they knew what success meant. After all, the best revelations are the ones you never see coming. The next morning I sat in my real office, the one with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city, watching the Forbes article go live. My phone started buzzing immediately as the news spread. Alexandra Chin, the 28-year-old billionaire revolutionizing artificial intelligence. Your sister's been calling non-stop, my assistant informed me. Along with your parents, 3 aunts and various cousins. I glanced at my phone's screen. 47 missed calls, 112 text messages and counting. The family group chat was exploding. Audrey, this has to be a mistake. Mom, Alexandra, call us immediately. Dad, why didn't you tell us? Aunt Patricia, is this some kind of joke? I smiled, opening the Forbes article on my tablet. The cover photo showed me in my element, standing in Nova's headquarters, surrounded by screens displaying our groundbreaking AI algorithms. The headline was perfect. Meet the quiet revolutionary worth $4.2 billion. My office phone lit up. Audrey again. This time I decided to answer. Hello, sister. Read any good magazines lately? What the hell, Alexandra? Her voice shook with a mixture of rage and disbelief. You're on the cover of Forbes? You're a billionaire? This has to be fake. Actually, I replied calmly, they undervalued me. Nova's worth closer to $5 billion after this morning's market opening. Silence then. But you drive a Toyota. You rent that tiny office downtown. That's just for family visits. Would you like to see my real office? I own the building your firm's been trying to lease space in. I heard something crash in the background, probably one of her precious awards falling as she stumbled. I'm looking at the article, she continued, her voice rising hysterically. Nova Technologies' AI trading algorithms now power 40% of global financial transactions. That's what my firm uses. We just signed a multi-million-dollar contract with Nova. I know. I rejected your first 3 proposals personally. The price needed to be higher. Another crash. You're my vendor? I've been bragging about my trading success using your technology. Ironic, isn't it? All those times you offered me an entry-level position, you were actually working for me. My other line beeped. My parents calling. Hold on, Audrey. Mom and Dad are on the other line. Alexandra Marie Chin. My mother's voice carried that familiar tone of command that had stopped working on me years ago. What is the meaning of this? Why didn't you tell us? Tell you what, Mom? That I was successful? You never asked. Too busy celebrating Audrey's summer house to notice what I was building. But, $5 billion? My father cut in. That's more than our entire extended family's worth combined? Yes. Quite a bit more, actually. I pulled up another screen, the one showing the current value of my various investments. When Dad, you might want to check your portfolio. Those safe stocks you invested in? I own controlling interest in most of them now. I heard my mother gasp. Alexandra, we never meant to. To what? Dismiss me? Mock my choices? Tell me I'd never amount to anything? I kept my voice level. You know what the funny thing is? If you'd bothered to Google my company even once in the last 5 years, you'd have known all of this. The line beeped again, Audrey rejoining the call. This isn't fair. I did everything right. Harvard finance, the corporate ladder. And I did everything my way. I cut in. Built something from nothing. Created actual value instead of just managing other people's money. Speaking of which, Audrey, Nova's reviewing all our contracts next week. Your firm might want to prepare for that. You wouldn't dare, she sputtered. Why not? Isn't this how real business works? That's what you've been trying to teach me all these years, right? My assistant knocked on the door. Miss Chin, the CNBC crew is here for your live interview. I have to go, I told my stunned family. Business to run, you understand. When Mom? About that tiny apartment I rent? I actually own the building. All 30 floors of it. Before they could respond, I hung up and turned to the wall of screens displaying Nova's global operations. My phone immediately lit up with new messages. Audrey, we need to talk about the contract. Mom, please let's have dinner to discuss this. Dad, I always believed in you, Princess. Aunt Patricia, your cousin needs a job. I turned off my phone and straightened my jacket, preparing for the interview. The headlines were still rolling in. Nova Technologies revolutionizes AI trading. Alexandra Chin, the silent billionaire, tech's newest power player, has been hiding in plain sight. My assistant returned. Your sister just showed up in the lobby. She's demanding to see you. I glanced at the security feed. Audrey stood there in her designer suit, clutching the Forbes magazine, looking completely out of her depth. Tell her she can schedule a meeting through proper channels. Just like any other vendor. And your parents? They're on their way too. I smiled, thinking about all the family dinners where I'd sat quietly, letting them believe what they wanted to believe. Tell them I'm busy. I have an empire to run. As I walked into the interview, I could see my family's messages still pouring in, desperate attempts to be part of a success story they'd never believed in. But I had more important things to focus on. After all, billions in assets don't manage themselves. The CNBC reporter beamed at me. Miss Chin, you've managed to build one of the most revolutionary companies in tech while staying completely under the radar. How did no one see this coming? I thought about my family, probably still reeling from their morning reading material. Some people only see what they expect to see. They measure success by summer houses and job titles, missing the real innovations happening right in front of them. And now, with everyone watching, I smiled, thinking about the next phase of Nova's expansion. The one that would make today's valuation look small. Now they'll have to watch someone they called a nobody reshape the future. Sometimes the best success story is the one nobody saw coming. My phone buzzed one final time. Audrey again. Please, I need this contract. My bonus depends on it. I turned off the phone and faced the cameras. After all, real billionaires don't have time for small thinking. We're too busy changing the world. Even if some people take a little longer to notice.